All right, we're talking about the supercharger still. Took off the pulley, discovered some problems, but that's not the discussion today. You'll notice that there is a little hole here, which I've taken the plug out, and I'll show you the plug. Here it is, right there. Now, this is an interesting system in that there is no drain for the supercharger. You had to put some tubing in and suck it and bend it down so it goes down to the bottom of the reservoir. The reason we're talking about it today is, how do you check if it's correctly filled? Well, based upon my Camaro, 2017 Camaro, which has a method for checking the fluid level, which uses a paper clip. Now, I'm using this paper clip as a way of measuring the oil level. Now realize in most cases like this, no pun intended, you fill up the fill hole and it drains out. You don't do that with an IHI supercharger, which is put on these cars. You don't do it. They're supposed to be a bit lower than the fill plug. And for those of you who know about a 2017 Camaro with a manual transmission, that's the way the Camaros do it. So what I do on my Camaro is the same thing I'm going to do now. And I'll try to show you. It's a little hard to photograph. I've taken a paper clip. I'm going to insert it into the hole, turn it, dip it down into the oil, and then pull out the paper clip and see what has come on the end of the clip. It's a little hard. And now it's hard to tell, but there is oil on the end of that, and it comes down to right about there where you see the tip of my nail. You can see sort of the brownish gold fluid, and that fluid is obviously mobile jet oil. It's helicopter fluid or jet fluid. It's a synthetic jet engine oil, but obviously helicopters now have jet engines. So what I've done, if you look at it, I've stuck the paper clip in the hole, and by angling it, I've been able to use it as a dipstick and find where the oil level is. So that tells me, boy, it's hard to tell. It's hard to take pictures, that when I stick it in like this, I'm actually measuring where the oil is. And I'm estimating that it's somewhere right about, you can see the tip of my fingernail, right about here, which means the reservoir is full. So not to worry. And it also gives me an idea of what the oil is like. It probably could be changed, but I'm going to do that at a later date. And so that is a way of measuring your supercharger oil. Because the challenge, of course, is you fill it up. You don't want to overfill it. But like I said, there is a blow-off valve or gasket here. So the excess oil comes out here and comes out this plug. And this plug is got a hole in it. Now, no one wants excess supercharger oil to be coming out of that plug, and that's the case where the oil is right in there, because it'll make a mess. So what this allows you to do is suck out as much oil as you need. It allows you to, one, check to see if you've got the right oil level. That's about the right oil level, right there, right where my fingernail is. So you can suck out as much oil as you can with some aquarium tubing, put oil back in, and then measure it with the paper clip so that you don't overfill it. Because if you overfill it, when it gets warm, it's going to come out of this hole, which will potentially make a mess. I think the nice thing about this, I'm going to turn off the headlamp, is that it means that you could reasonably overfill it as long as you accept the excess oil coming out of here and making a bit of a mess. So there is no danger in terms of overpressurizing the chamber. Of course, you don't want to run it low because that will destroy the supercharger. So I found this to be interesting. This is the oil you use in an IHI, India Hotel India supercharger. It's different than most superchargers where you just fill it and let the oil drain out and you're done. So another thing learned today. Hope it helps somebody. Certainly has helped me. Bye. This is the adjustable pulley tensioner for the supercharger belt. I'm going to be taking it out. And why? Because you can see that it's, well, it moves more now that I've disconnected, but it's definitely rough and it wiggles. Now, is it dangerous? No, not at this point. But when this thing fails, it's going to spread shrapnel all over the place, destroy a belt. So I have a replacement order. I actually have some new bearings by VRP, Victor Romeo Papa. When they arrive, I'll show you, but this thing is pretty loose. And they allow you to replace just the bearing, not the whole assembly. Now, to get it to where it is now, you have to, you see this little Allen key? You use a 17 on here, you bring it up, and then you slide this Allen key into that hole, and that allows you to get to the bolt that's right there. It's this one, and it uses a T45 Torx. And then you go to the one that's right down here, same one, and then you loosen these because these hold, they're a bracket that holds this assembly. And that requires a E-Torx, which is a, oh, what number is this? It's an E11. So you take these little puppies, you take them off, and I'll probably drop something, get to yell gravity. I've already loosened them. They're not normally this loose. And this allows me to take the supercharger belt adjustable pulley off. It's going to be replaced. It has to come off anyway to do the water pump. So I'm going to put that little guy up there. Then we're going to go down and get this one. Guess I'll have to hook it back up to the driver. Sorry about that. Doing things one-handed really sucks. What can I say? But everybody knows that. Who's ever done a video and tried to record what they're doing. Yeah, I could use my electric drive, but what's the fun in that? So we're gonna go in. And so much easier to use a driver, but that's life. It'll get loose. But you can sort of see the point is that when I get that bracket disconnected, this adjustable pulley is going to pull out. I'm then going to replace the pulley itself, saving the original bracket. Now, this thing from Mercedes costs about 200 bucks, and the VRP stuff looks very nice. And I think it's like a couple $100 to do all 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll be able to freshen all these pulleys for less money than what this would cost, which is a deal on wheels. So that's where we're ending on this one. Bye.